Same public service announcement I put on backing the Borough yesterday. If you haven't already seen that or haven't already seen the announcement on the community section of the channel, please be aware that over the course of the next week or two, while we've got the school holidays off for Easter and the Easter itself and Insomnia next weekend and the FM Esports World Championship thing next weekend, lots and lots of stuff going on. Similar to how I did at Christmas, I'm going to be dropping down to just one video a day, and it's going to be rotating between Non-League to Legend and Backing the Borough. So you've obviously got a Non-League to Legend episode now. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock it'll be Backing the Borough. Non-League to Legend is back on Wednesday, and it's just going to rotate through like that, probably for 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, mainly during the school holidays, so that I'm not sat out here all day, every day, while my kids are off school. Hello and welcome to Club 6 Part 12 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode is our biggest test of the season, probably. This is a really early make or break moment. We are top of the league after 6 games. We are top of the league, but away against Manchester United, who have won the league 9 out of the last 10 seasons. So this is a big one. We have been in incredibly good form since you were last with me. I mean, it's only been 4 games, but we've scored a lot of goals, doing really rather well. And that Premier League table does look rather pretty at the moment. And if we do manage to navigate our way past Manchester United, we then get to take on old club Leicester. So it's a massive, massive double header of 2 very different kinds of important games. And also some exciting news. Ben Willis, who is the youngster who we've been talking about a couple of times now as someone who we want to give game time to this season. He scored 2 goals in the Europa League and has also scored his first Premier League and first League Cup goal. So he's on 4 goals for the season from 2 starts in all competitions. He's gonna be. Could he be the new Liam Wells? I mean, I don't want to say that too loud. I don't want people to have unrealistic expectations. But I remember the last time we had a youth team goalkeeper come through with that kind of form. Right, anyway, let's get into today's game. Manchester United, it's not even today. Why does Past Kev do these things? I can't even say his name, Past Kev. Why does he do these things? I'll be back in a minute, and it'll actually be match day. What is that man for? Here we go then, match day, and I've made a tactical change. We've gone to a counter-attacking, flexible mentality, no team instructions, but most significantly, we've dropped Tommy Merson, our attacking midfielder. We dropped him out of the team, but we've dropped that attacking midfielder in behind the midfield too as a defensive midfielder, slightly adjusted the instructions in midfield, so our deep line playmaker on defend has become an attacking playmaker on attack, just to try and get someone in those areas a little bit. We've switched Dolberg to being a complete forward on support rather than attack, just to try and make sure he doesn't become isolated by having nobody in behind him. And hopefully this just gives us a little bit more of a solid base. Let's try and get some of that boring Leicester mentality back that served us so well when we were over there. Boring Arsenal. That could be a thing. I remember that from my youth. So this is our team for today's massive game against Manchester United. We've got Vice in goal, a back four of Tabarez, Vitali, Alex and Suma. Malcolm Felipe is going to have to play as our defensive midfielder because we just don't have one. It's a bit of an issue in the squad if this is going to be something. I mean, if this works today, if this becomes our thing that we do away from home in big matches, we need to sign a defensive midfielder specifically for that purpose. But we'll see how it looks today before going out and throwing a load of money around. We've then got Davidson and David in midfield. I mean, we've still got David Day as well, which is DVD. I mean, there's too many Davids in this team, far too many. And then a front 3 of Dolberg, supported by Pingu and Reece Nelson. Let's get into the game. Who on earth are we giving squad numbers to in a Manchester United away game? This seems like crazy talk. Right, let's see. They've gone to a 4-4-2. I'm pretty sure they normally come at us with a 4-2-3-1. So I don't know if they're trying to be a little bit clever as well. But you know what Mourinho's like. He's trying to out fox my foxiness. I'm trying to be clever and he's trying to be cleverer than me. I don't care for it. How does a 4-4-2 measure up against a 4-3-3? I specifically did this to try and counter their 4-2-3 when we're 1-0 up after less than 2 minutes. Vitali has put us 1-0 up. His first ever goal for Arsenal. It might even be his... Would it be his first start? I don't think it's his first start. I think I've used him certainly in the Europa League. It might be his first Premier League start. What a day to come and make that first start and then grab your first Premier League goal as well. And all of a sudden, our counter-attacking mentality is looking ideal for the match situation. We've taken an early lead, which is exactly what we wanted to be doing with a system like this. And now the onus is on Man United to come at us, hopefully allowing us to soak up the pressure and then spring counter-attacks on them. Of course, it all goes wrong if they score here, but they don't. It goes wide from Rashford. That's their first... Was that their first shot? It wasn't. It was their second shot. They'd already had one on target before then, apparently, which we didn't see, but we did see that one go wide. Weird highlight selection, Football Manager. Right, I just want to keep pressing them in midfield. That's it. Soak up the pressure, men behind the ball, and then any time now we'll get a foot in, and we've got our quick attackers there, ready to just spring a counter. I mean, it feels wrong talking about it, but in the circumstances, I mean, you just have to look at how many times Man United have won the Premier League in the last 10 seasons. It's 9, I already told you that, to realise why we've got to go and do this, because the only way we're going to have any chance of having a half-decent season is if we can beat them, but they've equalised. 31 minutes on the clock. Rashford gets the equaliser. Now it could get messy. I mean, they're still going to be looking for a win. A draw is not good enough for them, so in theory they're going to carry on attacking us. So our game plan doesn't need to change too much. The area we have problems, and the place I've always sort of fell down in the past whenever I've used a counter-attacking system, is what on earth do you do with a counter-attacking system if you go behind? Do you continue to counter-attack? Because that just seems counterintuitive to me. But if you go and attack, certainly with the personnel we've got out there, if they score now, we're going to have to make a half-time substitution, get Merson on, and sacrifice one of what is effectively 3 centre-backs in the team. And then what happens when we equalise or go back in the lead? Do we make another change to switch back again? We don't really have the players to be very flexible with our shape. We've kind of got our defensive players and our attacking players, and then there's 2 really good central midfielders that we've got. But we don't have... I mean, Merson can't drop back into a 3-man midfield. We don't have a defensive midfielder who can drop back to play defensive midfield. So I think we're struggling a little bit with flexibility of position, and that's a bit scary. I don't like the fact we've only had 6 shots, but then they've only had 7, I guess. We've had just as many shots. In fact, we've had 1 more shot on target. They're committing more fouls than us, and possession has been fairly equal. So, I mean, it's going to plan, I guess, at the moment. Dolberg, I know he's been injured all game. I haven't been ignoring that. I've just been trying to delay having to do anything about it. But looking at this, I think I might bring on Ben Willis. We're running a little bit low on wingers. Tommy Merson would be the other option, but I don't really want to play him up front on his own. Ben Willis, I mean, it's the kind of day where he could make himself a star. Can Merson play out on the left wing if I take Pingu off as well? Nope. No, he can't. I want to get Merson involved, but I don't really see how I can. I mean, Willis can drop out onto the right wing, but do we really want to be playing... That gets us then back to playing Merson up front. Nelson goes... I mean, Pingu isn't playing well either. Let's make the change. You're all going to tell me I'm an idiot for doing it, but I'm making it. Why can't... Just move! There we go. And swap those 2 over as well. So Willis becomes a winger on that side. Merson... but Reece Nelson can go into his more natural position as an inside forward. We'll leave it there for now. The advantage of that switch is if we do need to switch things up, we can fairly easily move into a 4-3-1-2, which we've never really done with Arsenal. But if we need to go and grab a goal with our wingers all being injured, today might just be the day. Willis coming very, very deep, playing out on the wing, has no idea what's going on. He'll grab the winner because he's a superhero. Right, last change. What can we do? What can we do to try and grab a winner? I mean... Not a lot, really. We could take off Junior David's tired. We'll take him off and bring Leshy on. I mean, it's not a particularly game-changing substitution, but it keeps a little bit of energy in the midfield. I guess at this point, we're quite happy just to hold on. 1-1 would be a cracking result away from home. And if we can grab a winner. Oh, imagine if we could grab a winner. I can't believe I'm playing Tommy Merson up front at Old Trafford. This seems mad. Merson does play it out to Willis, though, and here's one of those counter-attacks. We haven't really seen any in a highlight. Cross comes in. It doesn't really find a blue shirt. Willis! Oh! For a second there, I thought he was going to make himself a hero, an instant legend of the channel if he'd have hit that. But for some reason, he hesitated, and oh, goodness me, that took a wicked deflection. And Ben Willis, this close. This close. I don't know why he didn't just hit it. Perhaps he's hesitating because I've got him playing out of position. And typical 93rd minute, Man United do grab the winner. Right, come on, we said we could shuffle it around. We need to get him up there. These changes probably aren't even going to have time to go through, but you can go in there as a trequartista. You're going to be a poacher because you really showed a poacher's instinct a second ago. And we've just got to get the ball forward. Just go for it, gentlemen. You've got a minute and a half. I don't think the changes will even go through. But, oh, that's so sad. Poor old Ben Willis. He might never be the man again. We pushed him too far too soon, too young, and we ruined him. And we've dropped all the way down to 5th, did I just see? I know it's early in the season, but that seems a little bit harsh. Still only 1 point off the top of the league. It's not a disaster. If we can go and pick up a result against Leicester, we'll be fine. But that does put an end to our lovely, nice, long unbeaten run that we'd been on. But we did push Man United all the way, which is better than we've done in recent times. Back to the 4-2-3-1 for the Leicester game. We've also gone back to control and fluid and be more expressive. We want to play pretty football against Leicester. We've made a couple of personnel changes as well. I've swapped Pingu and Dolberg back over. I was using them this way round earlier in the season. You lot all told me I was mad, but Dolberg was scoring goals. Pingu was scoring goals. If we have a look at the schedule, you can see Pingu, Dolberg, Pingu, Dolberg. They were scoring goals this way round. I switch them round to the way they're supposed to be. Doesn't work against Manchester United. I'm bringing Correa into the team instead of Tommy Merson, just to give him a try. We signed him in the summer. He's in theory as good as Merson. He's worth 24 million quid. And we've never really given him the opportunity. So as Merson's already sitting out from the last game, we may as well let him sit out one more and see if Correa can do it. DVD comes back in on the right wing because he's now fit. And Leshy comes into the midfield at the expense of Davidson just to, try something a little bit different because Davidson, I don't know. He has his moments, but Leshy does as well, and David I think we've got a lot of good midfielders. It's difficult choosing who my best two are at the moment. Felipe drops back into the defence, so Vitali drops out of the team, and I'm trying Jamie at right back at the expense of Suma. Again, on the basis of they're roughly similar quality. Let's have a look at both of them and judge from there. It's going to be interesting to see who's in this Leicester team. I haven't actually looked at the transfers they've done. So Miller and Gardner we know all about. I don't know who he is, but Portanova, Gasparetti were out. So they've signed a couple of wingers. Panzo over at left back again. Kostic, don't know who Benali is. Ralston we signed, and they've still got Svilla in goal. They've got Adonis on the bench. Suto dropped down to the bench. If they were going to play with wingers, why not Suto? And Paulo Cesar still exists as well. Fingers crossed we can absolutely stuff them. That's what I'm looking for here. I want to get ourselves back up well into those Champions League places as it stands right now. In fact, we're already there based on the 1 point we'd get for this draw. Wolves are top of the league, unbelievably. So it's wide open right now. And if we can pick up the win, it looks like Man United have fluffed their lines a little bit again. So if we can pick up the win against Leicester, we'll move back up above Man United. And as I said on a previous episode, that's pretty much our goal for the season. If we finish above Man United, we know that we'll have met all our targets for this season. And in reality, we'll probably win the league if we can finish above Man United. So my yardstick all the way along is going to be, are we above Man United? If not, how close to them are we? I'm not that worried about Wolves being 3 points ahead of United at the moment. I don't think they're going to be there in 5 games' time, let alone, 28 games' time? How many games are there in a football season? We've not really done much so far. Leicester, they're doing boring Leicester. And Tavares has picked up an injury. Have we got a spare left back knocking around anyway? It's an area where we are a little bit weak as a squad. Jamie can go over there, in theory. I mean, he's not great at it, but we've got Suma sat there on the bench, so we may as well bring Suma on, move Jamie over to left back. It's not ideal, but then who on earth is Umbula anyway? We don't know who he is. If Leicester had Suto running up and down that right wing, then I'd be afraid. But I don't know who this fella is. He's a new man. Why would they sign new men when they had good men already there? Right, DVD, what can he create for us? Pingu is in behind. Dolberg's in the middle. Correa's in the middle. Jamie doesn't understand why he's on the left-hand side of the pitch. And, yep, he's properly confused. Look at the state of him. Leshy now over to Pingu. DVD's made a run, but we go to David instead. Correa, and what a goal from Angel Correa. I still don't know how to say his name. It could be Angel, could be Correa, who knows. I know he's a real life player and I should know how to say his name, but you watch my videos. You know I don't know who he is. But I tell you what, it's a decent finish. First time effort. Svilla on the stretch, can't quite get there. We go 1-0 up just before half time. And Tommy Merson's twitching a little bit on the bench. He's a little bit worried at this stage because he's left out the team for the big game against Man United. Assumes he's coming back in today. Who's this fella? Who's this old man taking my spot? Oh, look, he's scored now. Oh, this isn't good. He knows your time will come again, Tommy. Don't worry. That fella's 32. He's not going to be a long-term solution for us. Unless he keeps scoring goals like that. He's taking a free kick here as well. Cross comes in, doesn't really find a red shirt, and Leicester try and break free again. Why would you leave Gasperetti up from a corner or a free kick? This guy doesn't know what he's doing. Weiss, forward, trying to find Suma, but misses him completely. It was a terrible kick from the keeper. And now Leicester are in behind again, but Felipe takes the ball off the toe of Gardner, and we have the chance to try and break again. Dolberg's playing so deep. It does worry me seeing him all the way back there because he's not as threatening. But then, like I said before, that's where he scored his goals from this year. And Leicester have an equaliser through Tony Gardner. Rubbish. Back down to 4th place again. Right, we've still got time. 35 minutes. In theory, we know Leicester's weaknesses. I know that conceding goals isn't one of them. I know that back four is solid. I know that keeper's solid. And they've got Gasperetti and Portanova sat in front of them, a solid central midfield partnership. They've basically gone for a solid defence, 2 defensive midfield players and a decent keeper. I mean, it's going to be difficult to make our way past them. But Dolberg's just won a penalty. He's going to take it himself. Everybody cross those fingers. Dolberg versus Svilla. It's 2-1. Kasper Dolberg with his 6th goal of the season puts us back up to 8th place again. And 1 point behind Wolves. But we don't care. Wolves don't exist. We don't care about Wolves. Wolves aren't getting in the Champions League this year. I will bet my fancy London house on it. I can't actually remember what my house looks like. We did move house when we came to Arsenal, didn't we? I'm sure we did. Right. Pingu, not having the best of games. Willis comes on. And DVD also not having the best of games. But I don't think I'll make a second change just yet. We've got Salcedo, who's fit again. We have had some serious injury issues around wingers. But now we've got DVD back. Nelson's still around, but rested today because he was away on... I think he played 2 games for England on the international break. And he's getting on a bit. He can't manage all these games. But now we have Salcedo back as well. So we can... I mean, he can play as a winger. That's fine. He likes to play on the left as an inside forward, but I'm not moving Dolberg out of that position. That's crazy talk. Right, Leicester have bought on Adonis and Moya, Insua. These are all players I brought in. I don't understand why when they're chasing a game they don't bring on Suto. That seems weird. And they've actually gone to 1 up top. So they've got Adonis in behind Gardner. So they've taken off Jonathan Miller. I know Gardner scored today, but he was no Miller, or he wasn't even a Cesar. Weird from the Leicester manager, but I don't mind because it's allowed us to pick up a win. And 8 games into the season, we're 1 point off the top of the league, but more crucially than that, 2 points ahead of Manchester United. Keep that up, lads, and we'll be fine this year. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Remember, tomorrow at 4 o'clock, it's back in the Borough. Non-League to Legend, back on Wednesday. Normal service will resume soon. And thank you very much for watching.